process for this record started last winter, really. I was writing these songs before we got all the members, and at that point I figured it would be easier just to start off by programming all the drums and having all the songs written and pre-production on my computer, and then we just kind of went with that. So by the time we actually got around to doing studio time, I was able to just send those session files over to Devin Harper, who produced our record, and he was able to just put all those programmed drums in there and use that as a template. So we recorded the DI guitars to that template, and then just kind of filled in the blanks on that. Went with bass and vocals, and then did drums. We did drums last, which is a little unorthodox for metal production, but it actually worked out pretty well. And then just pieced in everything else from there. So it was a pretty easy process. We've done it kind of over the course of months, just in our free time and just whenever we're all available to do it. But it's been pretty easy going as far as how much we've had to put into it as far as our time. It's just been kind of putting those pieces together over the course of months and months. But we're finally done with all the tracking, which has been a long process, but I think it came together pretty well in the end.
This domain twisted by fear, and he says that again. So I think it's just the same.
Well, I'm talking about the end was fine, but the section before the fast part.
Oh, the section before the
tempo changes. Yeah, we lengthened that one.
Yeah.
We did?
I mean, I think it's because it was too short beforehand.
We'll go in here and listen to it. Yeah, it'll stick out to me like a sore
Either way,
thumb.
like I said, it's better to have too many.
So the beauty of this record is that each song has its own flavor. They're all slightly different. They all have certain different moods. And for me to write lyrics to each song, that gives me a different approach for each different one. For the most part, most of the lyrics are based off of sci-fi or fantasy things that I'm a total nerd about.
I think the goal for this album has been the same since I started playing music. I've always wanted to have something that I can just put on when I'm 50, and just say, hey, that was me and my buddies, and I still think it kicks ass to this day, so hopefully it holds up in my mind. I'm sure it will.
So, an interesting reaction for people would be to see our approach to this genre of music versus, what we've done in the past. All of us have been in bands previously before this. For example, River is in Blind Scryer, which is a completely different genre than this. I play in a death metal band, which, that's somewhat in the same genre, but we're still kind of veering off a little bit further. Honestly, I think we've done really well. I think we've achieved something very special. And maybe we're not reinventing the wheel or creating a new subgenre in metal, but as far as what we're trying to accomplish within the realm of music that we're creating, I think we've done really well. And I think all the songs are very well written and recorded. And I have nothing to do with the writing process, so I'm not bragging on myself for that. I'm just bragging on the bandmates. But no, I think I would like other people to hear it and be like, wow, these guys are versatile. They have a plethora of influences, and we're not just limiting or pigeonholing ourselves into one facet. we're a multifaceted band, and I think this is kind of an example of that together.
Musical influences are all over the place for us, but I think at the core of what we are doing is, comes from a love for old black metal records and newer ones. Obviously, that's the framework we're building all this music on, but we also have some different stuff that's creeping in there. We're listening to a lot of Opeth. I think all of us love that band. All of us love bands like Agala, or even some power metal or thrash.
My influences have changed a lot, but I'd say recently while recording, honestly, it's been a lot of the Eagles and Steely Dan have been the two big ones. But, of course you got the regular Opeth, things like that, and a lot of other black metal bands. Another band that I've been listening to a lot lately was Oubliette while recording too, just because we formed a relationship with those guys, and it's been awesome watching them play and been listening to them a lot. But honestly, I know all the other members listen to a lot of different stuff and a lot of stuff from different, frames, eras, just everything when it comes to music. So there's just a lot thrown in here, but it's still got the black metal feel, got the fast blast beats and all that stuff. So, but it's a medley, honestly.
Every song has so many different influences. There's thrash metal, there's black metal, there's prog, there's these guys are combining so many different elements into each song all in one, and that's been easy for me to hear each song and be okay, this makes me think of that, and this makes me think of this. As far as the lyrics go, I want the lyrics to complement those moods and those the atmospheres that each song gives off. When we first started discussing our work, the original plan was to commission something. We were planning on coming up with a concept and making up something in our minds and trying to make all these concepts throughout the songs, throughout the lyrical content work together in one cohesive piece of artwork. But we ended up looking through Adam Burke's portfolio, and we found a piece of artwork that was for sale. And this piece of artwork in particular, we felt embodied the entire feel to the record. It kind of spoke to every little piece and every song and all the emotions that went into every piece of music throughout the record. The piece of artwork is very gorgeous. There's so many colors and so much to see when you view the whole thing all together. But at the same time, there's a feeling of it's a little bit ominous. And on the front cover, there's an individual traveling into this murky, dark cave. And for me, that all completes the idea of the record, because there's so many parts of the album that are beautiful and melodic, but there's other parts that are ugly and sinister. So I think the artwork itself really personifies what the music says and the kind of vibe that it gives off.
It's a great thing, and I'm happy to be doing it with the people I am. And honestly, this is the goal: is just have fun and just take it as far as it'll go. Just go touring, have fun, meet new people, meet new bands, and just have fun with it. That's about it.
The goal for it is to take it as far as it can go. We're taking steps here and there and getting the word out as much as we can, but I have the utmost faith in what we're doing, and all these guys are magnificent musicians and magnificent songwriters, and I don't know, I see it going as far as it can go.